So Lauren's idea was amazing. I love watching that video because you can expand on it so much, and you can expand on this so much. There's so many videos to come out after this one, even because I'm only beginning to conceptualize how it's going to look moving forward. But it's exciting because we get to rewrite the structure of things. We get to say, no, everyone is valuable. We all have value, but we don't have to rely on this stupid green shit anymore. We can rely on something more tangible. We don't have to like invest our labor and then see how much of this green shit we get. It's bullshit, because the minute you earn it, like, okay, in I believe is Weimar, Germany, when it started to fall, people would go, they would earn, say, the inflation was so high, they would earn 4 million Deutschmarks or whatever. That was their daily earning. When they started work at the beginning of the day, a loaf of bread was 1 million Deutschmarks, and they would get paid 4 at the end of the day. By the time they got to the store, the bread was now 3 million Deutschmarks. So in the course of their day, the bread had super inflated 150%, and now they barely had enough to cover one loaf of bread after an entire days of labor. That's my point, is you control your contribution, but you have no control over the value when you're seeking compensation for your contribution. When you're seeking that compensation, you have no control over what that compensation is actually going to be worth when it gets to you, or when you go to spend it. You're losing out, and they are gaining. They're sucking it all from us. It's all going to the top. It's sickening, because you see, I just seen these videos. Elon Musk is now a trillionaire. What in the fuck is that? What in the fuck is that? How in the hell can that guy sit there and fire off all the rockets that he does and still be profiting? Like, that is it. For the amount of shit that he is doing, it should be literally at he should be in a Howard Hughes situation. What the fuck happened to Howard Hughes? He spent all of his money on his passions, and he made major contributions, but some could argue he wasn't smart enough to be like, monetarily savvy like Elon Musk is. But my point is, his cost and everything basically bankrupted him. And now you have Elon Musk just doing, what the fuck is he even doing? Where's the value added to any of that? It's back-ended government bullshit that's getting his profits. He's now a trillionaire. That shouldn't even exist. Billionaires shouldn't exist. He's a trillionaire now. What in the fuck? Okay, I'm done with the rant, but therein lies my point, in how things are backwards in this system, and this is the way out. We need to take it back. Stop looking for that green, that trillion thing. Let's become unimpressed by that. Let's be like, a trillion what? Trillion pieces of paper? Great, good for you. I'm gonna go over here and do my thing and enjoy myself. You have fun with your trillion pieces of paper, you fuck. I just wonder how many homeless out there are able to do amazing things that aren't, their voices aren't heard. They're looked over by society. They're seen and they're not seen. They're seen as a pestilence. But yet they would have so much to offer if they had the proper support structures. And the only reason they're in the places that they are is because the system failed them. You know how easy it is to get homeless? It's insanely easy. And once you are, it's even harder to get back in this system that we currently have. It's like the forgotten. And we've already gone through something like that in this country. None of us are old enough to remember. It's almost like we have to repeat that again in order to remind ourselves how that was. How did we go from people in suits, tattered suits, living on the street? Like that was a scene of the 1920s or the Great Depression, right? It's like people that wore business suits to work were now living on the street because they were homeless. We went from that to single income households being able to support everything in life and then some, and have a great retirement on top of it. We went from that to my generation, who commonly say working like unskilled, 2 jobs easily, barely able to make rent, if that, driving a beat broke down car if you can afford it, like not having much in their lives. What happened? The billionaires happened. The millionaires became billionaires and are now trillionaires. That's what happened. They're taking it from us. And they're making it so that we have to give it to them back. We have to give it back to them. Like they're taking our labor, they're giving us a little bit that we can get by on. But then they're getting it right back when we pay them for. We find it so important to have reliable transportation so that we can get to our jobs, so that we can make money, so that we can pay for that transportation. Like, well, why? What the fuck? If anything, I don't know. I can't say. But it's just backwards. They've understood exactly how to manipulate and steer people into giving their everything and expecting almost, I mean, we expect a lot in return, but I don't know if we find ourselves worthy of it. Like, do we, is it because at one time we had religion telling us that we're not worthy, that we're all flawed from birth. We're all these terrible people and we have to, so we had religion for a while, but then we kind of broke away from mass religion, right? So now we have society and media telling us that same thing. Individually, you're nothing. You're just like anyone else. Worthless, whatever. To make you stand out, you want to idolize or you objectify what you see in the movies and in the celebrities in Hollywood and stuff. So you're seeing that, you're like, that's the image of someone who's rising above the average person, who like shines, right? The star, the celebrity. So now your idea of yourself is less. Your idea of everyone else is less. Only that celebrity on the pedestal is worth anything.